Hello, I'm Tajimir and you're watching Hornbill TV. The Brillante Piano Festival stands out as the only multi-genre piano festival in the world that seamlessly integrates performance, competition and pedagogy. The harmonious blend fosters a vibrant and unique atmosphere, setting Brillante apart from other festivals. Supported by a genuine community that includes music houses, organizations, institutes and music enthusiasts of all ages and cultural backgrounds from around the globe, the festival has grown from its beginnings in Kohima in 2017 into a pan-India movement. Brillante Piano Festival not only contributes significantly to the music ecosystem in the country but also aims to serve as an agent of social development through intentional music engagements across all segments of the community. And today, to get to know more about the festival as a whole, we have the founder of the festival herself. We have Khyochano TCK, who is the visionary founder of the world's only multi-genre piano festival and the founder, director of Music Academy Kohima, one of Nagaland's premier music schools. As a pioneer in Western music education in Northeast India, she is a classically trained pianist and an alumnus of Biola Conservatory of Music in California, USA. With over 25 years of teaching experience, her professional journey spans the USA, Singapore, Laos, Amsterdam and India. Khyochano's dedication to fostering a vibrant music community in her local state has ignited a pan-India movement that transcends national borders, cultures and social backgrounds, aiming to enrich India's music ecosystem. We also have Zubeno Mozhui, who is a social entrepreneur with years of experience in the music industry and recently the food and restaurant industry. She is currently serving as the convener of Tourism and Allied Business Association of Nagas, the founder of Ohan Naga Restaurant and Michinga Restaurant, Sikkim, franchisee owner of Grill in Restaurant and the founder of Hope Center for Excellence, and she will be joining the Brillante team for their 5th edition as the advisor and community support. The 5th edition of Brillante Festival will be held on September 28 and 29 in Bangalore. So it's such an honor for me to have two very inspirational women sitting with me today. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak to me today, and it's a pleasure to have both of you here today.
Thank you, Atu.
Thank you
for having us.
So before we move on with this conversation, I'd want to know both of you, like I said, I've made such an impact in the music when it comes to the music scenario here in Nagaland, I would say. So I'll begin with you, Miss Kyo. Could you tell us something about how your journey has been when it comes to the music scenario here?
I think I would generally have, my story would be similar to most Nagas. You know, we grew up in a home that's very musically oriented in the church and other things as well. So that's how I grew up. My mom being such a force in this area. And so gradually taking piano lessons, and then I went on to study. I sort of had a feeling that I wanted this to be the area where I want to devote my life to, and so went to the States and studied there and came back. And so my, I guess my growth or my journey has been very organic in that sense. It wasn't as if when I was 10 years old I decided I want to do this. It wasn't like that, but step and step along the way, it was just the leading, and it felt right at that time to take that move. So in that sense, that's how it progressed. And I never knew that I would have a school one day, or even be a custodian of such a beautiful festival that is here now. And but I'm really grateful, and I'm just so excited about the future as well, because good things always come about when we just believe in what we're doing and how this has grown as well.
Right. And Ma'am Zubeno, we'd also want to know, you have also played a very important role, and you've made such a huge impact when it.
Well, Kaka, like she said, like any Naga, we grew up with the love of music. It's, in fact, it's so intrinsic in us, almost primal. But I also grew up learning the piano a little bit, and my journey didn't go very far as a performer. But then when I became a young mother, I wanted to actually have one place. And I mean, I was very fortunate to grow up with lots of friends who were musicians, you know, having achieved certain level of excellence. So I used to wonder, why don't we have like an institute where we can have everything in one place, instead of like, you know, you have to drop one son this side, one daughter this side. So, you know, the idea of having a performing arts center, I was toying with it, and you know, I started the Hope Center for Excellence. So I was with the music and performing arts industry for 10 years. And for me, I would say that I was balancing more the educational part also, but also the business aspect, to marry these two together so that it's financially viable and the vision is sustainable, you know. So, and in the process, yes, I actually attempted and brought in, I think probably Hope Center was the first one to introduce classical ballet to the state of Nagaland, for that matter even Northeast at that time. And in fact, we have produced our first professional classical ballerina. I think Hornbill has covered her story about that also. So after moving out from the music and performing arts industry, I myself, I struggled a lot, and I really felt the need for community to come together and to really take this music to sustain it, the art, and also not just the classroom education, but to sustain the art form, plus also taking it out from the classroom to the community and the people. So, you know, this is where I stepped in, and I understand her struggles in many ways. People just see the success, they don't see the struggles.
Now, today we are gathered here mostly to talk about Brillante Festival, and I think our viewers might also want to know, I mean, it's been there, it has been there in the news for quite some time also. It started in 2017 as much as I'm aware of. Can you tell me, Ms. Khyo, what is, you know, or what inspired the inception of Brillante Festival? Can you tell us more about how it started now?
Okay. You know, there actually in my life, if I would look at the three major inspirations that have, you know, that has made me the passionate person that I am, there would be that one of them would be music, and the second would be people, just people, and you know, networking or communicating or connecting with people, and the third will be education, music education. And these three things have been the heartstrings of my life. And the festival was birthed out of a response actually to those things only. At that time in 2017, after having, you know, worked abroad and come back to settle home, that was like 2008, I just realized, being a teacher myself and a learner, and being a parent as well, and seeing how people maybe were struggling at that time in our community in terms of being excited about something or having something to look forward to as a community. That was missing. We needed an ecosystem that actually supported each other, and not just based on events as such, but where it's an actual community where, you know, there's a life flow and there's a thriving energy that takes place. And so it was birthed out of a response to meeting that need, meeting so many parents just frustrated with having endless lessons, maybe also students learning for 12 years, and what do I look forward to? And you know, those things were there. And so it was just a point where they can come and be inspired to see other musicians play, to see musicians of their own age playing, and to have artists from the international, from the local, as well as from our national community to come and have that synergy where there's exchange of energies and ideas and knowledge transfers that take place. So it came out of that with pedagogy, the performance, as well as, of course, we have a lot of novelty things and competition, just to inspire kids to work harder. You know, when there's a goal and when there's an actual reward at the end, we all seem to work better as humans. And so that's how it came about.
So basically it was not just to give platforms to all those artists and pianists, but also make learning interesting for them, or different aspect, you know, looking into it.
And also I realized that not all of us can go out and see out of our homes sometimes. You know, it is to bring experts here, it is to bring life here and to create our own, instead of always looking at different communities and maybe just copying, because every space has their own way of owning a movement or owning something that is cultural or music, you know. Yes.
And also, ma'am, you'll be joining the team as this year for the 5th edition, am I right? So tell me more about that. How did you get into it, and how did she lure you into it?
Let me say that first. No, she's always been supportive, because I think she's always been supportive of culture and music and these performing arts, as you've heard. And so she's been following and attending our festivals, all the editions. And so this year I told her, you need to be in more than just moral support. I don't want your moral support anymore, you know. And so that's how there's a few advisors now, because we've grown organically, as I was saying. It wasn't all planned, I'm going to do this, do that. It wasn't like that with the festival as well. And so with having different advisors and other people coming in, of course our advisors are Adam Greg from KMMC Chennai, which is A.R. Rahman's institute. Then we have Anthony Gomes, who's the head of Furtados India. And of course from Nagaland we have Zubi for now. And we want to grow it as well, but generally it does involve time and investment as well. And so I'm so glad that she has agreed, and now you can tell your part.
Now you can tell your
Like I said earlier, I mean, I understand the struggles, you know, so it's very important to have the kind of support system, even one sister supporting another sister, but also not just that, but to keep this art form going and alive, thriving. And I can see growth. And from the 1st edition till the 4th, I mean, I think last year I was a little bit more involved, and this year I've committed. So this is primarily not just because Kyo is doing this, but I see a future with Brillante. I see it growing, I see it going places, and not just about the festival, but I see this as a wonderful platform for even our homegrown management teams to develop skills, different skill sets, you know, which will be at par one day with the rest of the world. And we're doing a brilliant job, considering like 1st, 2nd generation trying to catch up with the rest. So I think there's a manifold. It's not just the musician per se, but as a community, as aspiring, like to pull off an event like this, you need so many different skill sets, you know. So I think my support and my thing comes in that area, to form the ecosystem for this festival. It could be raising sponsors, could be raising supports, it could be being a voice, you know. So I mean it not just because she told me, but this resonates with me.
So I want to ask you also, her being there now as an advisor, would it bring any changes? I'm pretty sure, I mean, I know that the last past editions have been very successful as well, but would it add anything more to?
Oh, absolutely, because I think, you know, you can do one person can achieve this much, then as a team they can achieve something that's greater, right? I have an excellent team as well, people with really such wonderful hearts, you know, that believe in the vision, and they've come forward to serve year after year as volunteers. And so I just want to thank and shout out to the team as well. And then when we have people in the community who have, in their own life, they have built something that's special. They come in with so much skills and experience and wisdom and love for this art form. So then she, as a person who comes in as that, or other people who come in, they invariably gives us so much benefit, because it is now, you know, it's powerful, more powerful, and we reach out to more people. and from their lifetimes of experience, we just piggyback on that, you know, and we make something grow together. So yes, it is.
I think with that answer, I just feel enormous pressure.
Enormous pressure. No, it's okay. Yeah, that's the goal today.
Like we have been talking about it, it's the 5th edition now. The 5th edition is going to be held on the 28th and 29th of September. And can you give us some highlights from the previous editions? How was it like? So for people who don't know, for the viewers who don't know much about, can you give us some highlights?
Okay, so we normally have the performance, which are the concerts that take place every night, and stellar performances by renowned artists that come and just wow. And we have, of course, group artists that come and do that as well. And so it has been primarily on performance, and we have entire workshops and all those things, competitions. So the highlights that have really stood out, I suppose, would be the 100 pianos, which we had in our 2nd edition, where we had over 103 to 105 people come together and play one song together. It was just a get together to celebrate music and piano music.
Right.
That was in our inauguration, and so that was quite an achievement in the sense of all the logistics that had to take place, all the sockets and stuff like that. Then we had our first street piano. I think the first street piano in India, that would be at Brillante in 2021, right after COVID. And that was really necessary because it was an online edition. But we really wanted to do something, activate and engage our local community, because right after COVID, we were so hurting, you know, everyone had lost people, and we were all deprived of community life, and with a sense of wanting to give some healing and upliftment through the music and dance. We all came out to the streets and did that, and I'm so grateful to everyone who participated in that. And it was, of course, done through with the Kohima Smart City. They allowed us to paint all the grounds, and we went on to also be awarded one of the top 10 events in India for that year, because of the engagement and the value that event brought about. The other highlight would be last year's, when it was an inclusive festival, and with that inclusive festival, part of the inclusivity was to have special musicians with special needs, and that is how the SAM program came about. We call it specially abled musicians, because we believe they are specially able to be able to use a language so beautifully, so eloquently, and to transfer that, their passion and whatever they want to express to us through music. And that went off so well. And that also was a response to the people in other parts of India and in our local community as well. During our online edition, there were so many emails and texts and calls coming in. How about our kid, our son maybe is on the spectrum or is blind, and we also want to be part of the festival, but we were not equipped. We didn't have the knowledge or the bandwidth to support that at that time. And so we made a conscious decision to say that, okay, this is something we want to do. And with that faith, we just said, let's do this. And it came about to be such a heart-touching journey ourselves, because there were kids we saw that, and people from different parts, of course, in Nagaland. I was so shocked that there were so many blind artists in Nagaland, and they came, and they were so grateful to be able to be heard, to have people listen to them, and for them to also know that they need equal respect in a platform that's mainstream, because they're such a marginalized group. Sometimes we don't have restrooms for them, or maybe just facilities in normal streets or in our buildings even. And so mentally in my heart, it has touched me to be more conscious, and through that I think we have had impacts in many different areas as well, and socially, because we keep talking about that we are a social development project, in a sense that is one of our focus, that we want to change community through music engagements, and it's not just event based. And so having seen that, seeing some ripple effects of that has been very encouraging, and we want to continue to be committed to that as well.
So I want to know, like, I'm sorry I missed it out, but when did it actually start, the SAM project?
just started last edition,
last
fourth edition, yes.
So it will, you will still have the edition, I mean,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it will go on, I suppose.
It'll go on.
Yeah.
And we have a very interesting workshop coming up from Dr. Adam. He's the founder of Sounds of Intent and Amber Trust. Actually, he is one of the world's forerunner in teaching music to people with special needs, and so he'll be conducting a workshop as well. That'll be an online one, but to have people of his caliber and experience and passion to join the festival and to say, I want to do this, you know, that's his contribution to the community in India and to the Brillante family worldwide. It's a huge step as well. And of course, we have people who have already signed up for registered for the competition, some blind musicians and things that are so beautiful, evolving and taking place. So thank you, everyone.
You know, if I can add to this SAM program,
please.
bringing it closer to home.
Yeah.
I've also had feedbacks from people like, usually these are such marginalized section of the community, and we think that they cannot contribute, but they can. And this has really been an eye-opener for our people also, to look at you know, differently able people in a different way, and also like change our perspective, even our approaches to them.
Yes.
I think they don't need our sympathy, they don't need our pity, you know, because there's so much they can bring to you if we can just embrace them at whatever level they can come. So I think it has made an impact even in our society, and everything starts from home. So this is a program which has actually really interested me last year, and I was very touched to see different, I mean, people traveled from out of the state to come and be part of this, you know. So that was something like, usually it would, for us, we would see such an inconvenience to travel all the way, taking a blind person or something like that. But you know, that is the level of engagement and progress this, especially the SAM can bring about. Not only just for the stage, but even for everyday interaction, for the community to view it in a very progressive way. So I think SAM is a brilliant program.
And the word she used, not to pity them, that's the thing. The intention is never to let them be a spectacle, or to see them and to say, oh my gosh, so sorry. It wasn't like that. And why I really champion the SAM program is, I think for all of our youth and our children as well, sometimes become really spoiled, and because of all the indulgences they're having in their lives, and not wanting to even practice sometimes, you know, in music and things. And but when they see someone who has a very visible challenge, physical challenge, and yet they're committed and they've done achieved something, and can really touch our hearts with something so beautiful, then I wanted it to be an inspiration point as far as possible, to motivate and challenge and encourage everyone as well, you know. And so I think, and I hope, and I do know that what they're doing in their own circles, I mean, they all do that wherever they are, our SAM musicians, but this platform is for them to have a greater influence and a greater, they can touch more, and also to hear the stories of parents who have children with special needs in their homes. We don't understand because we may not have the same experience, but I just want to say we respect you so much, and we want to encourage and let you know that you're doing an amazing job.
I love how it's not just a festival for people who loves playing piano or anything as such, but it's how inclusive it is, and how it provides so much platforms for people from different sections of the society. And would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at music just in terms of you know, on stage and a performer and artist, it's very limiting, because music, the power of music, it's, I mean, the unifying power of music still amazes me, and it's like a thread which connects different communities, different societies, you know. I mean, in addition to, of course, the formal training and all, I mean, music is something anybody can have access to, can enjoy. It crosses, it has no barriers. So I would really say that Brillante is not just about piano festival, but it's about bringing communities together, building cohesiveness. It's also about opportunities. It's also a matter of pride for our state, I would say that.
Thank you.
And I would like to know more. I just want to let our viewers know that we have a lot to learn from both of them, but today we'll be strictly talking about Brillante only. So we'll keep the discussion about our lives and everything, their lives, for some other day.
Oh, we've been
So
on
sweet.
point.
Giving them a heads up now, just so that they don't get fed up of Brillante. But
Right.
by the end, they don't get fed up of the word Brillante.
Yeah, you know what it means? It means to sparkle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's of course a musical instruction to
Yeah.
play in such a way that you sparkle, you know. So you're also one of us.
Thank you so much. Can you tell us what's something that's different in this edition? Is there anything different? Any addition to?
I guess the addition is that this is our first full-fledged festival going out of Nagaland for the first time. We had a small little debut in Cyber Hub in Gurgaon in 2023. During 2022, but this is the real festival with the complete curation in entirety over 2 days, and with the street piano engagement also at Bangalore, in Bangalore. The specialness of the venue itself is amazing, at the Prestige Performing Arts Center in Bangalore, with the mall attached to it. So the growth and the expanse of the venue is one of the special points, because now we can do more, engage more, absorb more, and just engage more people, and have also a representation of Nagas that can go down and benefit, just not in music but in other things as well. We want to represent ourselves as, in the best way possible, as an IP from Nagaland. Brillante is an IP from Nagaland. The other exciting things will be that we're having extra contests this year.
Okay.
One is called the Flying Ninja Fastest Fingers. So that's going to be a contest on the spot, you know, the fastest fingers. The other thing is the Prodigy, Brillante Prodigy for children under the age of 10. We also will be having the Music Production Wizard, which is for people, producers from their homes, composing music, original music. Now, some of you might wonder why that is part of a piano festival. So the theme for this year is Magic of the Keys.
Okay.
And piano as an instrument, of course, is acoustic and has a rich history, but then its contribution has been even greater over the years, you know, and it still solidly, you know, takes its place as the king of instruments by being so relevant even in this age of music technology. If you see in the studios, or especially people producing in their own DAWs at home, they have a MIDI keyboard, and so we want to really showcase the piano in all its versatility and you know, in all its grandeur. And so that is one component of the competition also that we are having. Besides that, there are a lot of showcase stages, and so artists will be performing in all these different showcase performances by schools or people releasing their music instrumental albums and things like that. Those are the other new features, and the community growing in Bangalore. That is one of the most exciting parts. Yeah.
I think also when I look at it, Kyo has just added about technology, which can be a boon or a ban also. So it's a double-edged sword. So as musicians, sometimes with all the technology, you can be so isolated just in your world, you know. So probably those who have been producing, this is a time to bring their skill sets or whatever they produce, and this is like a platform for everybody to connect. So I think the way of connectivity, engagement is really like physical connection is something which is going to be added feature for Brillante, because for me also, when I look at it, to be able to go to a major city with the festival, that means growth is really taking place. And right now it's timely for us to take it outside. And I mean, at least Nagaland will be known for the right reasons. You know? So that's also
that's true. May I also know why Bangalore? I want to know, like, why did you choose Bangalore?
Okay, so why Bangalore? That's a question I've asked myself too. I think there's this false notion that it's only for Western classical pianists, and that elitist mindset where automatically people say, oh, it's a piano festival, so they exclude themselves thinking,
Yeah.
oh, it's not for me.
Nagas are really creative, and we're
Yeah.
so good in making so many things, and like our sensibilities, styles, and all are very good.
This has been going on since time immemorial, and now in this modern age where people can be maybe so disconnected, I think the power of music to unite people groups and communities and cultures together is even more urgent. I feel that